And now an update to a story we've been following. The founder of Papa John's, John Schnatter, has resigned as chairman of the pizza chain. This comes after he apologized for using the N-word during a conference call back in May. Oddly enough, that conference call was meant to help him avoid PR mishaps. Now, the company announced they accepted his resignation and plans to replace him in the upcoming weeks. Shares of the company did surge this morning, making up for yesterday's losses and then some. So what do you think about this, Tori? I mean, you're someone that I feel like, you know, politics. This is very political in the sense that this company is protecting their brand. But he did apologize. Was it the right move for them to fire him, so to speak? Yeah, because if you think about pizza is something you bring into it's very much like you have a brand, you stick with it, you're loyal. It's on your speed dial, you got it. If you drop from Papa John's because of this and they remove him and put someone else in place, I'm much more likely to give it another shot. So I'm just talking as a consumer, if he stayed as the face, I'm not going to have any of your pizza. So I think sincerely, just as a consumer, this was the right move.
You know, he resigned. I guess he was forced out. But he did say he realized the comments were insensitive, and he said there's no place for racism in today's society. So it sounds like he recognizes what he said was very insensitive. Then
why didn't he recognize that back in November? And then he repeated, because back in November he said
didn't say what he said. Yeah, he said that about the players, though. That was not actually using the word, which I think has a much stronger connotation.
I would hope that he's having a self-aware moment, but I would like to... it just seems like to me that he got caught and he's backpedaling.
You know, I look at this and I'm not sympathetic to this man, but I just try and step into his body like quantum leap. And like imagine being so racially insensitive that you can't even ask a question without being racially insensitive. I know.
Right.
He's that far, and I mean, he probably is a victim. He's, you know, from wherever he's from, I don't know what he grew up with, but it's so interesting that he was so hardwired that it'd be like me asking, and I'm not going to use a bad word here. It's like if I was accused of being insensitive towards women, like, how do I talk to you broads? Like, if I didn't know. If you couldn't even start the conversation because when you start it, you're already being offensive. I almost wonder, like, where did he come from? Where this was so par for the course that you're using the N-word on a conference call at work. No one caught him like at a bar in the bathroom. Like this is going to be recorded.
He's from Indiana. He is an adult. So what would you say to that?
Well, you just said how casually he said it. I know we've talked about how frivolously it rolls off the tongue. Could this at all be generational? And I do want to ask this question.
There's plenty of people that are the same age that don't say that word.
But there are people under 30 and 35 who use the N-word very, very frivolously because of Kendrick Lamar, because of Jay-Z, because of a lot of rappers. And my question is, Kendrick Lamar brought a girl up on stage, and she was reciting his lyrics. And once she started to say that word, oh my gosh, it was like, no, 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 no. Boot her off the stage. Consumers are consuming this type of music. I'm just asking, is it fair for rappers to say this word over and over and over again and have a white culture consuming this if they can't say the word?
This is what I always worry about in terms of like being able to switch the narrative. We went from Papa John's to talking about rappers in one step. And that's always what we're talking about. We start talking about police brutality, all of a sudden we're talking about NFL players kneeling. It's the way to switch the narrative, and it's an effective form of discussion, but we both know that black people are not the instigators of the N-word. People have been hung, people have been lynched, families have been permanently destroyed because of that word. People have been killed, and the last words they heard was that word. So to try and compare that to Kendrick Lamar, I feel like is really missing the point, and like it's difficult to have a conversation.
It's not missing the point if you say the word should never be used.
I'm not saying the word should never be used. I feel like black people have their discretion and they are allowed to use that as they choose. I mean, that word has been used to denigrate people, and some people choose to take that word back and use that as empowerment. Some people choose to never want to say it again. But they both have that choice. I feel like white people do not have that choice. That word is off limits.
Papa John's did not have that choice.
Yes, and especially at work. And I feel like at work, black people don't have that choice.
Right.
At work you should be professional.
Agree to disagree. DBL Nation, chime in. We want to hear your thoughts on this one.